Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Deeply honored to stand before you, and that too very comfortable near the podium rather than sitting and talking from there. This is my second visit to this Indus Business Academy. With religious, monotonous regularity, I have been attending all the two summits from the first one. He knows about it, excepting but in those 2 years when it was affected because of Corona. So in the same campus, one full day I spent it. It was a huge gathering, the same premises in the precincts. I don't know where to start. I think the biodata that Dattaji has read out, maybe one of the a trifle old one. In the recent past, somehow I found myself in a peculiar predicament, writing books. I do have 2 international textbooks in the area of HRM, my own domain, years ago, Nottingham, UK, London, Westbury Publishers. I wrote a book costing because I could not complete my HLBA. So I wrote a book in costing, then marketing management. Then I found the last 3 months as well as 8 textbooks, highly comprehensive, 400 pages each. I don't know how I could write it. All of them are published. The books are like this because the moment you showed me this, got tempted. I left teaching marketing way back in the year 1984. I stopped, maybe first batch in Osmania University, and earlier I taught marketing, basic marketing, marketing program, advanced marketing. That was 1980-81. And then my students became successful heads, deans, chairpersons. Though, my God, students are becoming deans, they are going to competition, both of them. Then best teacher awards, all, my one. I taught. Then subsequently never taught marketing. Now, the book's titles are, first book I wrote was recent past, immediately. That was on digital marketing, text and cases. Then customer analytics, data-driven something I have used some tagline. Then retail. By the time I go to Hyderabad, this book is going to be in my hands. And then healthcare analytics, all. And it's going to be evidence-based clinical practice and patient care. Punchlines, the taglines. And then the other book is on IMC, Integrated Marketing Communication, another 400 pages book. It is going to be for strategic marketing perspective. I wanted to use the word marketing. So I'm eagerly looking forward to this. I'll come here with as many as 8 textbooks on this thing. That's it. And that 160 now crossed 220. I may be more than that number of international conference paper presentations. In addition to Cambridge University MBA department and Oxford University parent department, and signing scores of MOUs on behalf of other business schools, representing them with the mandate. Because I joined service in 79, I retired in the year 2016, became a professor in the year 1998. So let me come to the topic. So this is how it is. One advantage of coming in the morning and sitting through the inaugural session is the context must have been set by then. Context, the intent, the content, the actors and the factors by then must have been known. At this stage, even after 3 speakers, if I start speaking, very difficult for me to speak a sentence without being guilty of being repetitive, reiterating and redundant in my speech. But I could do one thing. That is it. Listening to them very, very patiently and carefully, not cosmetically and superficially or intermittently, continuously, I found that the guest of honor, chief guest, keynote speaker, the vice chancellor, all the themes broadly come under 6 categories. One is they talked about inclusion. It's a new word, inclusive. Wherever, whatever seminar, a conference you attend, invariably they are going to talk about inclusion. The growth and development have got to be inclusive. Education is no exception. Second thing is going to be curriculum reforms. People have talked about multidisciplinary, that matter, interdisciplinary, and then blended learning, the best mode that he was talking about. That's actually all those things. Curriculum reforms, there is no end. That's it. How updated your syllabus is. That's most important in the context of the critical theme. I don't say key theme, critical theme that we have chosen to use for the 13th Edu Summit. The third area is going to be experiential learning. That's how it is. After all, the theory and the practice, the gap has got to be bridged. Here exactly, the experiential learning and then the group learning, project-based learning, outcome-based, my God, so many concepts have come, especially during Corona times. They were glorified. Then One more aspect is going to be that looms large in the context of this sustainable development and education. See, the beauty of this is both the words are important. Education is as important as sustainability, something like that. When you say innovation management, the adjective, the epithet innovation is as important as management itself. You can't do managing unless you are going to ensure things are not going RE, things are not going to go MS, not ulta pulta, so helter skelter. That's how it is. Everything has got to manage. This is going to be one thing. And the teacher training. Even after, I lost count of number of webinars that I attended after retirement, including Gian. They said, sir, you have attended all the 4. No, you can't attend any more for this year, you are done. That's the type of thing. And the system, when I enrolled, they says, hey, you're more than 60 years old. Sorry, system is rejecting me candidate. It's a special case they used to. That's how it is. Unless and until you are going to constantly upgrade yourself, update yourself, and you are going to outlive your own utility. That's how it is. What is it? Become LLL, not a learning license. It's going to be lifelong learning. Make it your raga, the saga, the journey and the odyssey, then only your education is going to be complete. When I was a child, education for us is making somebody literate is education. The 3 R's, read, write, arithmetic. To be very frank, in spite of all these things, hundreds of publications, A plus B whole square, please don't ask me. Numbers, absolutely uncomfortable. Mathematics, 0. But still I'm writing books and metrics. Can you understand? So many books and measurements, metrics, numbers, because the motivation for me is I'd been to BITS Pilani when I was a child, because I never went to convent school. I never went to English medium. I don't know what's English medium. When I went to BITS Pilani, a 3-day conference, that was evidence-based. That's how I picked up all these words. Metrics. Data-driven. Some gentleman has used the word, it's going to be the decision, informed decisions. These are all the new things that have come into this. That's how it is. So this is going to be one more theme. And teacher training, and training the trainer, all these things. So we were doing FDP, all those things. I belong to the 9th batch of FDP at IIM Ahmedabad. 9th batch, galaxy of distinguished professors taught me. Now some 45th or 50th this is going on. The gentleman said, sir, I was just born. So even then, so for example, very soon I'm going to become a septuagenarian. So very soon I'm going to become super citizen. So that's how it is going to be. Then innovation and technology. That's it. The clarion call that is generally given to the CEOs, the thought leaders, the corporate leaders is going to be innovate or evaporate. If you don't innovate, you are going to get incinerated. So that's how it is. And even the so-called sustainability is also going to be getting impacted if you don't innovate. I think one of the speakers they talked about when the problem that you face outside are out of box, the solutions that you have to offer should also be equally out of box, the lateral thinking. That's how it. One more thing is going to be global perspective. I think he talked about. I think I do remember some 20 years ago I went to Chennai and then MGR University. I presented a paper. That's we know divergence, then convergence. Then I presented a paper, cross-vergence, something like this. I went to Bangladesh 5 times, including Dhaka Institute 4 times, just before Corona, just one day. The next day was lockdown. That's the last person. I know pretty well. He dropped out. I made it. I was the only person who could make it from India. And then I was in Ceylon. 5 times I went. There was a topic was local, global. It was global, a full-fledged paper I presented. That's how it is going to be. Beautiful 2x2 matrix that's presented. It reminds me of that. So this is it. I think one of the speakers, just give me 1 more minute. Speakers talked about the transformative journey, transformative change. The change that we are talking about is not alpha change or beta change. We are referring to the gamma change. Not first order change, but the second order change. The sustainability is not possible with this mindset, the traditional, orthodox, conventional mindset. You need to have the right mindset, not the set mind. That's how it is going to be. And that's how it is. And then it reminds me of a Peter of Drucker, who is a management guru for management gurus sitting here. I was taught, 77, I was taught the first person to come up with a list of 6 key result areas. If you can superimpose sustainability factor, the framework, excellent. First one is marketing. try to come up with a basic definition of the basic needs, basic wants that you want to basically sense, serve, satisfy. Sense, market research. Serve, production management, operations management. Serve and satisfy, CRM. So that's how it is. 3 disciplines, 300 marks paper. So that's how it is. And then marketing next, innovate. I told you about innovation. Second thing is going to, then he comes up with the 3-factor classification of the factors of production. He says physical resources, financial resources, human resources. Then he comes to productivity. Not production, productivity. Then he comes to social responsibility. If at all we had an iota of understanding sustainability indirectly, remotely, we were getting connected to the sustainability. We'll say, be responsible, responsive in your actions and deeds. That's how it is, CSR. At the rudimentary stage, I'm talking about. Subsequently, you know what has happened to CSR. And then ACD said, come on, don't produce MBAs like this unless and until they're going to be taught about business ethics, corporate social responsibility. I was teaching that paper 20 years ago. That's how it is. And then they got sensitized that, hey, we are forgetting one thing. Let us not owe an apology to the ecology. We were talking about, I'm talking to commerce graduates, 73, 76, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, all sort of. You, business people, you do not have any business to really degrade the environment. Flora, fauna, clean, green, all the, at that time. Now everything is green. Everything is going to be green. Marketing, so everything sustainable, everything. That's. I was born in the year 1956, but one theory, one approach, one model, one philosophy and ideology was born for the man professors 1955, general system theory. Then when go to the library, any textbook, system theory, including IMM. Then subsequently, MIT professor, he said, depends, it all depends. From this gesticulation, just shrug of a shoulder, a khatarnak theory has come called as contingency theory. No motivation theory, no leadership theory, no theory can be explained successfully to your students, succinctly in the classrooms, without asking for the context, the content, the intent, the actors, the factors, the ecosystem, just a system, everything system, Chandrayaan system. Now, next 1 week, so the solar system, yeah? University system, higher education system, college system, the computer is a system, everything is a family system, social system. We have got PhD thesis in Osmania University, 107 years old university, drainage management system, street lighting system, crowd management system, there is a PhD thesis. So that's how system. Now let me come to quickly this, that's about global perspective. Let me tell you one thing, my understanding of this education is going to be, I think the best way, I think when I was taught, I am Ahmedabad, 87, Chris Argyris, that's maturity, immaturity. If your education can make the people, the student learners, to become mature from a state of immaturity, that itself. What are the symptoms of immaturity? If I'm dependent, I'm immature. But the day I become independent, I'm mature. The day I'm going to have a hollow, shallow interest, I'm immature. The day I'm going to develop deep interest, strong interest, then, and various, multifarious, not just the number, but also the variety, multifaceted galaxy. Oh my God. So that's how it is going to be. It's going to be. And when you take a subordinate position, serfdom, slavery, bondage, okay, is going to be what's called as immaturity. The day sustainability, I'm telling you, to make yourself sustainable as a learner, as Madam has said. I went to their institutions several times. So that is going to be called as, it's called, the day you are going to have, as I told you, equal position, or superordinate. One of the speakers used the word exalted, elevated, overarching. That overarching, if you can make, that's going to be sustainability. And another thing is, a symptom of this is going to be whenever you are going to, let's say, have a short-term perspective, it is going to be immaturity, long-term perspective. And even sustainability, when you are going to praise, rise, eulogize the posterity, the future, not compromising on the word, not compromising on, I think that's going to be long-term perspective. That's it. Don't have a myopic, restricted, constricted, tunnel-tubed, a narrow-gauged vision is going to be not compatible with sustainability. That's going to be one thing. Let me not forget one thing, that PPP is going to be one more excellent framework. Hats off to this gentleman here. One more perspective is going to be the people first. Then it is going to be planet. Then it is going to be the profit. That's why Peter Drucker says profit making is okay. Profiteering is a shibboleth concept. Very bad one. That's because you need to have money, Baba. You need money for expansion. You need money for diversification. You need money to absorb the shocks, the setbacks that you are going to be experiencing in the marketplace, the business vicissitudes. You need to have money. And to finance, to prosecute your own business for marketing, for innovation, you need money. So make money, but don't become a bloodsucker. Don't exploit. That's where exactly we are taught. What are the values? We are called them as values because they're invaluable. They're priceless. We live for them. We die for them. We uphold them. We maintain them. We sustain them. We inculcate. This business school, Indus Business Academy, is one of its kind, a class apart, a face in the crowd. It's not the run-of-the-mill business school because it is going to teach different things which other B schools do not teach. This is going to be one more thing that I wanted to say. So this is where exactly the triple bottom line, one more framework, let me tell you, I don't know what. I think one gentleman talked about practices. We generally lose sight of one thing: vision, mission, strategy, tactical ploys, goals, objectives, forecast, projection, predictions, and policy, program, procedure, method, system, rule, regulation, guideline, guidepost, roadmap, route map, figure post, signpost. Practices are. It says sustainability. You cannot really understand sustainability unless you talk. What do you do? That speaks of. You tell me what do you do, I'll tell you your culture. Same. Whatever you do in one academic year, second academic year, what do you do? I'll tell you about the things you do, how you do, what to do, what do you do. So that I'll tell you about DNA. That's what sustainability is all about. That sustainability all about that. That's going to be. I can go on and on and on. I don't really know how to begin. I don't know. Actually, he's talked about Nelson Mandela. One more thing is, I think it was Indira Gandhi whose big quotation about the university is the epitome of knowledge, etc., etc. She says one thing: it's the most liberating force. Hare Baba, education. Unless we sensitize the boys and girls. Right from, she was talking from primary school to secondary school to all, PU to university and all. We are the people. We are the people. We are going to create the shakers and movers, all of you. And for that purpose here, we are, first of all, we have to get ourselves trained and sensitized about sustainability. When ethics was to be taught, we never studied ethics. We never taught ethics, but we would force it to. That's how it is. I was invited as one of the keynote speakers for environment or something. Book has come. I wrote the foreword, something like that. Then they said, ACT insists upon environment as a compulsory paper. Your MBA is not MBA unless you have studied the litmus test. The acid test is going to be one thing. That is going to be, have you studied CSR? Have you think? No. Sustainability, no. So first time, I think with the monotonous regularity, we are going to have conferences and seminars, colloquia, symposia, discussions, debates, only centered around this concept called sustainability for the next few years to come, because that's the only thing which is really going to be. Your ideas may be enviable, but is it viable? You may be a bull interested, but first of all, are the resources available? Is it technically feasible? Now, for everything we are asking for EIA, environment clearance, forest clearance. No project gets kick-started, it gets a halting start, fumbling, faltering, floundering, drifting and deviating only because you do not have the clearance. That's how it is going to be. I think I can go on and on and on. That is offline. I'll take questions for whatever we'll interact. I'm going to be here. And then thank you for listening to me so very patiently.
The claps are telling about the kind of energy you brought in. This is the best way of poetic and rhyming style that I have heard in a speech. So thank you so much, Suryanarayana sir. And now I invite Dr. Shah Alam to share his views. And we really appreciate if all of us can stick to the timings that we have, because I know all of us are standing in between your lunch.
Yes.
Yes.